It can be too much to take, holding on so strong when I'm about to break.
So, how it feels when I get sick with the cold. So, on a day to day basis, I already feel like I suffer from symptoms that are similar to the flu. So, when I'm not sick with the cold or anything and just being my normal self, I experience fatigue, I experience muscle aches, I struggle to get up in the morning because of these. And so when I get sick with a cold, these symptoms intensify, and I just end up feeling more symptoms on top of that. And it makes me miserable and I become immobile. I'm normally caught in bed or I'm in the sofa, but it's hard for me to function. I can't cook, I can't do chores such as laundry or cleaning up the house, and I pretty much feel useless whenever I get sick with a cold. And even driving itself becomes difficult because my head is just in complete pain. I feel pain on my forehead, on the sides of my head. It goes down to my neck. Surprisingly, when I got sick with the cold in these last 2 weeks, I've been experiencing a lot of back pain, which has never happened before. This is the first time that happened for me. So that made it even worse. And, you know, that's just the cold. I'm not even suffering from an actual flu. I could only imagine how worse it would be if I did have the flu. I've also had loss of appetite. I did lose a little bit of weight having been sick these last 2 weeks. And then, what else? I ended up getting a sinus infection probably 5 days after I got sick with a cold, which was not fun. I had to take antibiotics for that, and now I'm taking nasal spray. And just yesterday, they had to give me a shot on my butt, a steroid shot, to help with the inflammation that's occurred in my nasal passages and around my ears. Hoping with the oral steroids that I'm going to be having to take for a week that I'm going to be completely better and functioning at my best again. Hopefully nothing conflicts with that, and I just continue smooth sailing from here. But that's normally what it's like when I get the cold, and what I've been dealing with in the last 2 weeks. Lastly, I'm going to be discussing the preventative measures and also providing links to the ones that I indicate. And you can reference back to them if you want to learn more. So, the first thing to do would be to avoid sick people. If you're in a public place, try to make sure that you have a hand sanitizer or that you're keeping your hands clean. So that would lead to the second one, which is to practice good hand washing hygiene. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Make sure you make it very soapy and lathery. You go through your fingernails, your fingers, your palms, get everything. And then your third preventative measure would be to get a flu shot. It is recommended for people with chronic diseases to get the flu vaccine. And for people with lupus in particular, don't do the nasal vaccine. I don't know what you call it, but I know there's like one that you spray in the nose. That one I've heard is not good for people with lupus. And the fourth preventative measure would be to get plenty of rest and sleep. And I'll be providing a link to that as well. The next one would be stress management. When you're very stressed out, that makes you more vulnerable to getting sick. So practicing good stress management would help you a lot. And then the next one would be to practice good nutrition, making sure you're getting all your fruits and your vegetables. For people with lupus in particular, you want to avoid garlic and echinacea. So I've noticed from the research that I've done in the last few days that people with lupus shouldn't be consuming those because it actually boosts the immune system, which is what you don't want to do when you have an overactive immune system already. So don't consume those. That's like probably the most important one out of all the things that I've mentioned. If I had it, I don't think I've mentioned it. Hydration. You want to stay hydrated. I guess a general number would be at least 8 glasses of water. That does not include tea or juice or milk or soda, which you should be avoiding anyway because it's not good for you. So those are the preventative measures that you could practice to do your best to avoid getting sick. Sometimes it's hard to avoid it, honestly, but hopefully if you practice those measures, then it will help you to a certain degree, decrease your chances of getting sick. So that's pretty much it. So until next time, have a great day and I'll see you soon.